Hi, Krishna.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
Good to see you, and glad you're here with us at the ARC Forum.
Absolutely.
The solutions that Molex provides strike me as being pretty important in the energy transition, helping oil and gas and petrochemical asset plant operators and other industries in the future.
Yeah.
What would you want people to most know about what traction you're getting in the industry and value proposition that resonates with the users?
Sure. If you look at industrial monitoring, it's predominantly manual inspections, walking around, very error prone. Then came a set of sensors and data, but they're all suffering from value deficit and change overload. So the problem with them is they dump so much data on the operators. Operators are trying to figure out, what do I do with this? And they also need a lot of changes to the existing operational methods. So between the two, the adoption has been pretty low. So we focused on operator and operations relevance. So we do much of the work to make sure the data becomes small enough from a noisy big data to useful small data for the operators. Hence, our adoption has gone up significantly compared to any of the existing solutions.
And these are in highly regulated areas where the monitoring of emissions or leaks or corrosion monitoring in the portfolio of solutions, you have to have the methods approved by the regulators to do this. And what sort of success would you want to describe in those methods?
Well, changing regulations, as you know, takes forever. But making sure the existing regulatory compliance is more and more accurate and correct by design is in our hands. So we really focus on how do we make sure you augment your existing methods to be correct by design for compliance. That's the first step. As we progress, we believe the industry is going to make it work so well that the regulatory bodies will say, why not make these alternate methods? And we have one of those done with alternate method for method 21 for LDAR.
Like EPA method 21
yes.
For leak detection
and repair. Yeah. But we believe that will continue as we go forward to all other aspects of fence line monitoring, remote terminals, tank farms, wastewater treatment, etc. But we got started with the method 21 and an alternate method for it.
So with the solutions you're talking about, the prior walking around methods of inspectors, like having a sensor and temporarily putting it on a pipe or on a tank to monitor thickness using ultrasound, corrosion monitoring, or the monitors for detecting leaks.
Sure.
Having those permanently installed, there's a good bit of subject matter expertise to do that optimally, isn't there?
Well, the subject matter expertise really comes in how we take the data from the sensors and then apply the first principles of physics or chemistry, as well as the operational expertise to that. That is where we turn the big dumb data into a subject matter expert's relevant data. So it's really the software that starts to create the magic, not the sensor. But the sensor, the first mile, has to be high fidelity and accurate. You get garbage, you generate garbage. So our sensors are high fidelity and very accurate. And then we take that and turn it with more magic sauce in our software to be an operator and operations relevant insight.
Excellent. That makes a lot of sense. And it feels to me as though it's extending the senses of the people on the plant floor and freeing up resources. Are you seeing the adoption create any cool sort of cultural shift among the communities that are using it?
We do. One of the key things we have to figure out in the industrial space, it's a very change-averse, risk-averse culture. because there's life and death involved in any decision making,
Corrosion can be catastrophic.
or even leaks.
And leaks
Right.
too, yes.
So our focus was how do we refine the way they work, but not redefine how they work? Because redefine is a big change. So one of the key things we have done in this is to, as you said, create a sidekick for every operator to get the mundane part of it out of the way, the art of decision out of the way, and give them an automated way of getting really, really interesting insights so they can turn it from an art to a decision, to a science of decision making. So that's the key here. Once you do that, you can turn an operator from a boring job of walking around and doing grunt work into a high value expert worker. And in this day of people retiring from these jobs with a lot of expertise, just imagine what happens when you have the workers saying, I'm not a grunt worker anymore, I'm doing something really high value. I think that will make the job itself appealing to the younger generation coming up.
It makes sense, and there's a tremendous amount of expertise that these employees are bringing to bear in terms of
Exactly.
the chemistry and the physics involved and the mechanisms of failure.
Absolutely.
But I think it's a little bit of a judo move in a good sense, where you are correct. I understand when you say we're not changing the processes overtly, but it does seem to me a common theme in your solutions is that it focuses on health of the assets rather than always trying to just treat failure mechanisms. There's a positive aspect to that I find very interesting going forward.
Yeah, so if you look at alarm systems that have been there in the industry, they work. But they work when things go wrong. Our approach is, how do we give you early warning when the first set of anomaly comes in? And if you look at what the operators do, it doesn't matter whether it's corrosion monitoring, emissions monitoring, vibration monitoring, they do anomaly detection, root cause analysis, and response. We take all of those into action with an early warning system that says, hey, I feel a squeaky wheel, and I'm giving you an alert now.
And canary in the coal mine, something, yes.
Exactly.
Right.
And then we give them the situational context for root cause analysis right there on their mobile phone, and then help them fix the problem through a very structured workflow mechanism. So everything now shifts from notepads, walking around to multiple systems, to their pocket. So it's a difference between what used to be BlackBerry and now the iPhone. That's the kind of transformation we're bringing in within the context of what the operators trust and what they know.
Thank you, Krishna. We appreciate the value that you're talking about delivering to the industry in much needed ways. This is Peter Manos with ARC Advisory Group. Thank you for joining us on Molex here at the ARC Forum this year.